Gemma Collins. That's got the green. It's Katherine Ryan. And their team captain, John Richardson. And facing them tonight, don't go baking my heart. It's Richard Bacon. Newton Cobb. It's Henning Wehn. And their team captain, John Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy
Welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1/3 of people flush the toilet while still sat on it, which I believe is known as a Manchester bidet. It takes the average person 7 minutes to fall asleep, although that can drop to under a minute if you're going out with John Richardson. Which you're not. No one is. Well, you go out with him then. And 25% of women have difficulty experiencing orgasms. They could try having a threesome with me and their more attractive sister. Might help, might not. I'm just saying, let's give it a go. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panelist job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation would be talking about?
The snow.
Oh, Gemma, straight in there.
Well, because it was like really changed all the colour of the country and stuff.
How do you mean it's changed the colour of the country? Is it quite insightful?
No, because when you look out your window, like obviously there's grass and there's grey buildings and like you drive through London, but when it snows, it's beautiful. So I think that's a hot topic to talk about.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a cold topic.
Oh yeah.
First reason why John doesn't have a girlfriend, that is.
In a continuing series, let's see how high we can get. There's my voice, that's number 2. Hello, number 3.
You know who I envy in the snow, in this weather? It's the only time of the year I envy dog walkers. Because I just think, oh, it'd be great, you know, when they have the dog has a crap and you've got something warm in your hand for a bit.
Have a look at this car. This is a driver that basically... He cleared his windscreen. How could he possibly have an accident when he's prepared that thoroughly?
That's not a cleared windscreen, that's a glory hole. I've seen holes like that in Louis Walsh's dressing room wall. Do you know what I did to de-ice my car? I'd boil like 3 kettles, and then when they were hot, just chuck one over it.
That can crack the window screen, though.
Excellent intervention from Gemma Collins, yeah?
Why?
Because you're putting boiling hot water on cold, so it can crack.
I can't believe we're getting science.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed. We're doing a bit of science together. So hot water on cold, don't do it.
Yeah, because it will crack and shatter and it could be dangerous.
Because it expands too quickly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. It was very busy. It was very busy, though. A friend of mine works in a puffer jacket factory. And he said they just can't kill the geese fast enough. He said, we're in there just... So they're just chucking grenades in there now.
Richard, you obviously think the snow is very dangerous because you're on a news radio channel.
And the news reports often say things like, they always say, only take an essential journey, don't take any non-essential journeys. And often the reporter saying that is in a tiny little village somewhere, and they'll have driven their quite big outside broadcast vehicle down a tiny little road into a village to tell you what you already know, that it snowed.
And then they're telling you don't take non-essential journeys. Who's going out for a spin anymore?
Well, one person's essential journey isn't another's. For example, I consider it essential for me to drive around counting snowmen. Somebody's got to do that, you know, count the snowmen, height. You know, I can't do the weight, that's tricky. Every time I see a snowman, I always think to myself, God, I must get round to building a snowman.
Why don't you stop driving around looking at them and use that time to build a snowman?
Or take one.
Get a van if there is one you really like, with 2 coals for the eyes and carrot for the nose, perfect.
Do they have a tradition of building snowmen in Germany? Is it
we have got the finest snowmen in the world.
Well, I want to ask about German snowmen. Do they put the coal underneath the carrot? That would look good, wouldn't it? That would look good. Get a bit of colour there.
Let's have a look and see if the snow is up there. Yes, Britain continues to be battered by freezing weather. Conditions in Birmingham were described as appalling, with no food on the shelves, schools shut and emergency services stretched to breaking point, and then it began to snow. Sean's team, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Prince Harry, I would say.
Yes. Prince Harry's finished his tour of duty.
It does make it sound like he's finished the game and gone on to Call of Duty 2.
Yeah. You've made a documentary.
Oh, yeah, I have. It's on BBC 3 on Monday night, and I went out to Camp Bastion to make a documentary about Prince Harry.
Right.
His time out there.
So do you hang out with Prince Harry? Or?
Well, I'd be lying if I said I did an interview with him. There was a slight technical reason why I couldn't. But it's...
sorry, what was the technical reason why you... Tell me, what's the technical reason? Have you got a thing about gingers?
I just didn't... That's my way of saying I failed to secure an interview with Prince Harry. But I presented... so I've done a tour of Camp Bastion of what his life is like out there. And it is fascinating. And he... you know, he's been heavily criticised this week for comparing killing members of the Taliban to playing computer games. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw people gave him a hard time about it. I think we're very squeamish about this, though, aren't we? He talked about killing the Taliban, and we sort of went, well, he's in the army, and we sent him over there. That's sort of his job, isn't it?
And we know he's in an Apache helicopter with a machine gun. What do they think he was doing? And it was, I suppose, in a way as well, it was a bit rich of the Taliban.
A bit rich of the Taliban. They won't like that bit. They will not like that. What does he say about us? What did he say about us?
You read a quote in the paper that says, oh, it's a bit stupid to compare a computer game to killing real people. And you go, yeah, that's interesting. And you go, oh, it's the Taliban. I think I agree with the Taliban. That is a new moment in your life. Well, maybe they're all right, you know. Maybe... I kill people, but, I'm good at computer games because of my thumbs.
I get where he's coming from, though.
You get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Gemma, tell us more.
I tell you for why, because when you play a computer game, you go into another zone.
Yeah.
And when he went to the war, he just applied his skill on the Game Gear or whatever to the war. So when he was, say, like, in combat in the computer game, he put himself back in that headspace when he was, like, really fighting people.
Knees and toes. Knees and toes.
I get where he's coming from.
Yeah. I'll give you the actual quote from Prince Harry. He said he admitted killing Taliban members, saying, if there's people trying to do bad stuff, then we'll take them out of the game. We have to take a life to save a life.
He talks like a Premier League footballer there. Yeah, Afghanistan, always a difficult place to go. We knew I had to dig in deep, so I'm just pleased I was given a gun. And that's what it's all about at this level. Next Saturday, Ipswich.
He has been prepared, though. Like, no wonder Prince Harry's killing Taliban. Look at his entire life. Murdering the dance floor, slaying babes every night, carnage. That's who he is.
But why is there a war there? Because they've caught Osama bin Laden.
Good question.
They've caught Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
So what's what they're fighting for now?
Basically,
That's a good
the
question.
Taliban don't like fun.
No, it's at war with Afghanistan because they've got loads of grit. And that is what Britain needs every winter. Doesn't have enough grit, and that is why Britain is in Afghanistan getting all the grit.
I just think it's all a waste of money. Like, these wars cost money and stuff, surely.
They do.
It's a waste of money.
a
You're the people
waste-
that gave us vajazzles. Let's not start.
All right, then, I'll let you off.
Let's have a look and see whether Prince Harry is up there. Yes, indeed. Prince Harry has returned from Afghanistan. No one's quite sure what Prince Harry's going to do next, but he's served in the army and his mum died when he was young, so he could go a long way on X Factor. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing still to get.
Is it the smell that came over from France? The smell in the week was released and it came directly across. Did people not know about this?
Yeah, I knew that. So, Jimmy, what was it? What did it smell of?
Well, it's apparently it smells of sweat, garlic, and rotten eggs. according to reports. It's called Mercaptan.
Mercaptan, and it came from a French factory, didn't it? And then it wafted over...
It wafted over the channel.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's impossible to comment on this without being anti-French. So why try? Yeah. You know it must be bad when even the French notice the smell.
Well, I think...
Could you smell this in Essex?
No. We would not have come out of our houses if we'd have smelt it.
But then equally, I think the bigger debate is, what if you were a village sort of 5 miles away and you knew you could smell it in the other village but not in yours? Would you drive to smell it?
You know who you are? My sister had a boyfriend who would purposely go in the loo after she'd been in there and be like, yeah. And she was like, don't go in, don't go in. And he was like, I'm not, I'm just getting hand towels.
It wasn't me, can we just say? Can we just clear that out? I think it was glad to see, because we were calling it Le Pong. It's nice to see Pong getting a bit of work without Ping piggybacking on it. Because Ping got the big microwave contract about 20 years ago. Poor old Pong's like, you off out again? Yeah, I'm doing the microwave gig. I'll just wait until someone plays that game from the bloody 70s again. Poor old Pong.
The thing that is concerning, like, everyone's going on about the smell, but what if there is some bad stuff in that gas that has got into our bodies if you did breathe it in, and it's like eating our organs and you don't know it?
Could be melting our brains.
It could be, it could be. People my age don't really watch the news because they find it boring. But
how old are you?
32. Overnight sometimes I go on YouTube and I came across this guy, right, called David Icke.
Yes.
And I've been watching him and it's really
this explains a lot.
You're his target audience, Gemma.
Am I?
Yes, you are exactly the sort of person he's trying to reach.
He is fascinating. Yeah. He has said Beyonce isn't real.
But...
And basically, we are all run by aliens. Like, there's aliens living amongst us in this country, like reptiles, which... See, why do you know to do that? Why do you know? He says that. David says they pull off their... he shows it on the thing.
They pull off their faces?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine when you take the fake tan off, it looks different.
Yeah. Why should we just believe that this gas has just come? Why did it come? What is it doing to us?
You sound like you've just smoked your first joint.
I haven't.
Well, I can tell you the French gas leak is not one of the most talked about things this week. But after extensive investigation, the cause of the foul odour was narrowed down to 2 possible sources: everything in France or everyone in France. OK, fingers up, buzzers. One more thing to get. Go ahead.
Is it the fact that everyone in the world's a lizard? I assume so, because I didn't know until this evening. I'm only learning this now.
Have you ever watched a lizard? Have you ever watched a lizard? There's no way lizards could take over the world, because they're so fucking slow. They're like this. You could edit a bit of this out, but I'm going to stay here for a few minutes.
OK, let's get on to the next thing.
I'm doing the thing.
Stop being a lizard.
How is that lizard going to take over the world, Gemma? Can he operate a gun?
He's not a real one. He's not a real one.
He's right, Jimmy. He's right.
John's team.
The referendum.
Ooh. Well.
There's this bloke called David Cameron. There's this referendum's come about, and we've got to sort it out. And this is where I'll come to you. Because I know what the word is, but I don't know really what a referendum is.
It's like getting your news in Braille and you're wearing gloves.
They're saying we're going to have a referendum, which is a vote on whether we're in or out of Europe. That's what
that's what it was about. Yeah, I know now.
That's it, yeah.
I think what we're proving here is that there should not be a referendum on Europe.
Cameron says the British people should have their say. No, when the British people vote, they keep Rylan and Spidey in. You don't want to do that.
I mean, that whole nonsense debate here in Britain, if Britain is in Europe or not, what a nonsensical debate. To anyone who thinks that Britain isn't in Europe, you can smell France. And don't even get me started on that Scottish independence. We don't need more country in Europe, we need fewer countries in Europe, and they all need to speak with one voice.
Which is
German. We have to understand, like Germany versus Britain, Italy versus France, we all hate the Dutch. Yes, of course we all hate the Dutch. They're horrible. That's not a point I'm trying to make.
No, we like the Dutch.
No, they're awful.
We like the Dutch.
No, they're absolutely awful.
We hate the Germans. We don't
Let's have a look and see whether Cameron talking about the EU is up there. Yes, David Cameron has promised an in-out referendum on Europe. France and Germany have said Britain can't pick and choose its terms with Europe. There are just two things you need to remember, France and Germany: World War I and World War II.
Well, third time lucky.
They'll do it again. They will. They'll do it again, won't you? They'll do it again.
We're really up for it.
So this is what it's like if you listen to radio in German and you can understand German. This is what they're saying all the time on the radio. When you're in German, you don't know what they're saying, but it's just stuff like this. It's just they're just shouting it to each other. Yes, this time we will do it.
It's a bit like England before any World Cup.
At the end of that round, Sean, Henning and Richard have 1 point. John, Gemma and Katherine have 2. So our next round is Pick of the Polls. John, Gemma, Katherine, pick a question.
Let's have Silvio Berlusconi.
OK. This week it was reported that 76-year-old billionaire and former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi is suing a magazine for photographing him with a harem of beautiful young women. So we asked our studio audience, do you find powerful people more attractive, yes or no?
Yes. You know that book, 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
The guy
Mainly
that was in it was a very powerful, like, he did turn out to be a weirdo, but he was really powerful, and he had that hold over that woman, and it just shows you that women do like that sort of thing.
Wasn't so much a hold as a clamp.
Yeah.
You've got a bloke that, like, just ain't powerful, you just don't want him.
No, yes, I do.
Do you?
Yes, I do. I want someone who's at the end of his rope. Someone who's got no more to lose than he already has. I want someone grateful.
What about you, John? Do you like a powerful woman?
Well, I was so sure you were going to say powerful man then. Yeah. Power, just for power's sake, is boring, isn't it? If they're powerful because they've done something, like a rhino is powerful.
Rhinos don't do anything.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't shag a rhino. If a rhino had done something amazing.
You would then shag it?
Well...
The way I understand it
Go
is
on.
that they always say women like nothing better than a man that makes them laugh. It's just an absolute shame that women find nothing funnier than £1 million in the bank.
What about you, Richard? What do you think?
Well, there are people who are powerful who are attractive as well. So Barack Obama is, he is also attractive.
Thought you were going to pick a woman.
Yeah.
Some people used to find Margaret Thatcher attractive, didn't they? Certain
Oh,
people.
yeah. I look at her, I think, whoa, I would fuck her like she would fuck a northern town. So the question is, do you find powerful people more attractive, yes or no? We asked our studio audience. What do you think they said, Sean?
I think they said, nah.
OK, what do you think, John?
Yeah, obvious, yes. Fact, 100%.
OK, you're going yes. I can tell you the answer is yes. 53% of our studio audience do find powerful people more attractive. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Best thing about living with your parents?
Oh, it's washing them, isn't it? For the age my parents are at. It's getting up in the morning and giving them a good wash. It's like, it's like the elephants in the zoo. I just stand them on the end of the table. I get hose, I just scrub them all down.
How big are your parents?
Also, if you live with your parents, you can keep tabs on your inheritance, can't you? So, you don't need to have an evening meal. You had a big lunch. You don't need a new carpet. It's fine. Just take
Eating
glasses
on
off.
Bonacardi, you'll be fine.
No, don't spend that. Well, this is mine.
Also, another one is you don't need to make up lies on how well you're doing, because they know you're a failure.
Katherine, how old were you when you moved out?
18.
18, and you
Yes.
never went back?
I never went back. I came to the UK by myself, and I'm a working foreign single mom.
Whoa. There's no need for a round of applause there. The Daily Mail want her out. What age were you when you moved out?
31.
You moved out last year.
Yeah, they started putting the news on.
No, right, the best thing...
You moved out last year.
Well, the best thing about living at home with my mum and dad was I used to ring them from the bedroom and say, can you put the kettle on, and stuff like that. And I know it sounds really bad, but we are from Essex, and that's what you do there.
But what if you, in that period when you get back, because I think the hardest thing would be making excuses. If you want to bring someone back and you live with your parents and you've got to pretend they're like your housemates.
Just do it in your front room.
I moved in here quite young, yeah.
Hang on.
Hang on a second.
Hello.
Just do it in the front room.
If your mum and dad are upstairs, just take them in the front room.
Just take him in the front room. What a lovely thought.
Yeah, this is a weird one. I know I'm usually upstairs and you're down, but I'm downstairs shagging and I am gasping.
Best thing about living with your parents. So what do you think?
It's cheap.
That is the correct answer. Give you that. Yes, the best thing about living with your parents is not having to pay bills. Just because you live with your parents doesn't mean you can't have a life. My mate lives with his parents and he got lucky the other night. Crispy pancakes for tea. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Henning and Richard have 1 point. John, Gemma and Katherine have 4 points. They're tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Tuesday. That's it from us. Good night.
On 8 out of 10 Cats, making us splash, it's Tina Malone. Not just a funny face, it's Joe Wilkinson. And their team captain, Sean Locke. And facing them tonight, Blimey O'Reilly. It's Rachel Riley. Stand-up guy, it's Chris Ramsey. And their team captain, John Richardson. Now, I'm your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 25% of people can write a text without looking at their phone, which is great because it means you can really concentrate on your driving. 48% of Brits think social networks can help new relationships. It's so true. My life has been such a social whirlwind since I joined Grindr. I've hardly been able to sit down. And 20% of men don't know what a pedicure is. A pedicure? Pretty sure it's a cure for men like Jimmy Savile. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panelist's job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. Sean, Tina, Joe, what have the nation been talking about over the last week?
Faster trains.
Faster trains.
Between Manchester, Leeds and London.
Manchester, Leeds and London. That's, you're going the long way round, aren't you?
Well, you know, they can't get the one that they're doing now on time, so are they going to make it 1 hour and 6 if they can't do it in 2 hours from Manchester to London?
I'm quite happy with 2 hours to Manchester. I think you need a little bit of time to prepare yourself for going up north.
Yeah.
I don't like this fast train because I don't like being early. I'm gonna, you know, because it takes an hour. You're gonna be early. You're just gonna be hanging about. Get a slow one. Keep warm.
I don't think you will be early because it's not going to be built for 20 years.
Yeah. 2033, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be finished in 2033.
I thought we'd be teleporting by then. I haven't got jetpacks, I don't want to be alive, let alone clinging on for life in a super fast buffet car, like.
They're saying it's for, like, European business people, though, that are coming over. But surely if you've had, like, a flight from Moscow, you're not going to land and then go, how much to Manchester? 2 hours. Fuck me, I'll go back.
Where's he going back to?
Don't know.
Is it really going to go 260 miles an hour?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
It's a shame because you're not going to be able to stick your head out the window anymore. Right? It'd be too dangerous. I used to love doing that. I did it all the way from Cardiff to Bangor once. God knows how many insects I ate, but I was...
Too fast, isn't it?
Too fast.
You'll have to change train impressions for kids. Like, it can't go... Won't do that, will it? It'll just go...
That won't be as good.
It wasn't that long ago that they binned Concorde, which was really quick getting to the States because it cost too much money. But now they've decided to spend 30 billion just to go to Manchester.
Are you saying we should get Concords to Manchester?
We could, because I'm in. 30 billion, yeah.
Well, for that kind of money, I mean, there's other things we could spend that money on, aren't there? I mean, it's a huge amount. Yeah, we could have a free bar on the train for 20 years.
Instead of building a train line, why don't they have that thing in supermarkets where they send the money down a tube? That thing where the money pops up in a tube. That's so quick. Why don't they just build one of those? Just goes,
in
supermarkets? Those things, they come up in a tube and it's like a plastic thing and they open it and they put all the money in and then it goes doof, and then it appears somewhere else. So they put the money in, they screw it, and then they pop in a tube, doof, it's gone. Literally seconds, and then you can hear somebody in the distance going, oh! Why not a massive one of those?
Shoot people out of cannons.
I don't think that's practical, Joe.
Not all right, not one then, 3.
3 cannons.
One to Totten, then change, get another cannon. Leeds. It's like a 20-minute wait there.
And then get another cannon.
And then another cannon there.
I could see that if there's a problem, like a cannon replacement service.
Yeah. An idea.
OK, let's see if the new high-speed rail line is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, the most talked about thing. The government have unveiled plans for a new high-speed rail line. It said it will cost £32.7 billion, or £35 billion if you get a return. John, Rachel, Chris, what else will the nation be talking about this week?
Super Mario's off.
Super Mario's off. Stinks.
So this is Mario Balotelli, and he's... Go on, tell me the story.
He's off. He was a troublemaker at City. He had a bit of a ruck with Mancini a little while ago, and he's off to AC Milan.
I don't think he's that bad, really. I think the rest of the footballers are weird. I don't think he's the weirdo. If you're a 22-year-old millionaire, why aren't they all acting like him? Let's be honest, he's the normal one. The rest of them going, oh, yeah, it was good, yeah, bought a new pencil case today, I'm excited. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be going mental. I'd have a cape. I'd wear a cape constantly. Everything. I'd go crazy.
You can afford a cape.
Yeah, but I can't put it on.
Why do you think that capes are incredibly expensive? I mean, you're on telly quite a lot, Chris. You could get a cape. I'll buy you a cape.
That's why I came.
He does some strange things. Mario's mum once sent him to John Lewis to pick up an ironing board. He came back with a scale electric, a quad bike and a trampoline.
He's like Tom Hanks in Big.
He's amazing. This is great. Days after signing to City, Balotelli crashed his car on the way to training, and when the police asked him why he had £5,000 in cash on him, he replied, because I am rich.
He's a lunatic. If he wasn't a professional footballer, he'd just be in the park shouting at ducks.
It'd be nice for you to have some company.
He's just said to all his friends, hasn't he? Now he's left. Go to my home and take what you want.
So he said, I'm going away to Milan, so I want you to just take everything, except my pants.
Yeah, except my undies, that's right.
Yeah, he said, don't take my pants,
I'm
but
the
take everything
opposite.
else.
When I have friends over, I insist they take a pair with them.
So Balotelli's girlfriend has said that she'll come and visit him in Milan because she said that Manchester was too remote.
She'll change her mind when that new train track's built, Jimmy. They're all the supermodels are crawling back when they can get to Towton in the Midlands. Coming back with their knickers round their ankles. Isn't that a phrase, though? You'll be back with your knickers round... Is that
tail in between your legs?
That is definitely not a phrase.
Is it not tail between your legs?
I think it's in... John, I think it sounds better in the original Latin. Quest testos retonos per an inscription above a church. You'll be back with your knickers round your ankles. Oh, man.
It's exciting, though, isn't it, football? Transfer deadline day. Because it happens in comedy as well. I got a last-minute bid from Loose Women today, but failed the medical.
Deadline day for me. I've got some chicken in my fridge that goes out of date tomorrow.
QPR will have it. They bought everything else. Oh, it's a real one for the aficionados. Well done there. That is men who've been clicking refresh on BBC Sport all day that got that
job. There's another big transfer story.
Beckham. He's not going to Arsenal.
Let's list the clubs he's not going to.
He's not going to Preston.
Is he not going to Preston?
I know where he's going.
Well, do you know where's he going?
He's going to Paris.
Yes. The incredible thing about this, so David Beckham has signed for Paris Saint-Germain, and he's donating his entire £150,000 a week salary to a children's charity.
Wanker.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
He wants to be Sir David Beckham.
Is
that's
that bad?
What it's
It's a children's charity.
In my book, that's evil.
It's
wrong. It should be stopped now. Stop him with his evil, conniving, giving money, all his wages to charity schemes. What the fuck's he playing? Don't pretend that there's not a bigger agenda here. Say that something.
He was obviously pissed when he said it.
Beckham apparently is going to move into this mansion, and it's got a panic room, otherwise known as the library.
Should we have a look and see whether the transfer window is one of the most talked about things this week?
Yep.
Yes, it was transfer deadline day yesterday. Manchester City striker Mario Balotelli has moved to AC Milan. David Beckham has signed for French club PSG. If you're watching, David, be careful what you eat in France. They recently found some beef DNA in their horse burgers. OK, fingers on buzzers. One thing still to get.
Well, I like the Iranian space launch. The Iranians have sent a monkey into space. Which obviously people are worried about the animal rights. They wanted to check it was safe for the monkey, so they sent a woman up first. Well, she got the bloody thing back. She couldn't park it, could she? So... These are jokes at the expense of the Iranian policy on women, not my views, which happen to be the same.
The Iranians have sent a monkey into space. Do you want to have a look at the rocket?
Dodgy looking that. It looks like it was made on Blue Peter about 20 years ago.
How many monkeys must be dead in space? Over the years? Because we're laughing at Iran because they're Mars, but we were sending monkeys up for years. In America, they died. The only person who could make it sound less tragic is Brian Cox. If he did, space is literally full of dead monkeys. Just floating on.
I'd love a monkey.
You'd love a monkey?
Yeah. No, like little finger monkeys. Have you seen the finger monkeys? Sorry to digress.
What's a finger monkey?
They're a tiny monkey, like a marmoset, and they just sit in your finger. They're so cute.
A monkey the size of your
if you're
finger?
a bit peckish, a little snack. They're a bit like little nuggets, little monkey nuggets.
They're like...
Basically, just stick them in the chip fat fryer, straight down.
Well, Iran sending a monkey into space is not one of the most talked about things, but Iran have sent a primate into space. Desolate, barren and dangerous, the monkey was relieved to get out of Iran and into that rocket. OK, fingers on buzzers.
The residence test for, you know,
the citizenship exam.
test.
Go on.
Yeah, they've created a new citizenship test.
And,
They
have different sections, so to prove that you're kind of, you know, that you're valid here or whatever, you know, things like there's a television section, so you have to say that you watch Coronation Street and Strictly and God knows, seriously.
And Morecambe and Wise.
And Morecambe and Wise, your knowledge on telly, honestly.
Well, that's our culture. I think it's valid.
Well, it was 30 years ago. I mean, who's setting the questions? UK Gold?
OK, so I've got some questions here from the test. Which landmark is a prehistoric monument which still stands in the English county of Wiltshire?
Anne Widdecombe.
Near enough, Stonehenge. Who is the patron saint of Scotland?
Aye. Who is the patron saint of Scotland? Good old who? Aye. Who?
Well, they've got questions specifically for people coming from Eastern Europe. Why is this tap dripping?
They are doing a campaign to try and sort of stop people coming over, which I'm proud to say I'm going to be the face of.
And that was
The most amazing thing I read this week is it said from the census they found out that 140,000 people can't speak English. But how did they fill the census in?
Really badly.
It was saying that our second language now in this country is Polish.
Yeah, no, they said that in the paper, but the Daily Mail wrote this massive thing going, our second language is now Polish, like they were angry about it. Our second language is always going to be a foreign language, Daily Mail.
When you're talking about the Daily Mail.
They said that in London there was like 100 languages listed as main languages that weren't English. And none of them contained please, thank you, excuse me.
Because it's friendly up north.
I hate it when Northerners moan about London. They're always going, oh, it's not very
My
friendly
daughter
down there on the
lives
tube.
here
It's not
and
very
loves
friendly
it.
on the tube. You think, it's
Oh,
a
come
tube
on.
train, you're going somewhere, it's not a bleeding carnival.
Come on. Or Dick Van Dyke, but you want someone to give you a smile, don't you?
I totally agree with Sean. I don't want people talking to us on public transport. The tube is the way it should be in London. The tube just mimics London life perfectly. You just get on, look at the floor, go home, wait to die. That's how it's going. I love the fact that someone could burst into flames on the tube and all you'd get is a couple of people looking up from a Kindle going, prick.
Should we have a look and see if this is up there? Yes, the government is to introduce a new citizenship test. Personally, I think if you've got the stamina, determination and willpower to hang on to the underside of a lorry for 18 hours, fuck the test, welcome to Britain. So at the end of that round, Sean, Joe and Tina have 2 points. John, Rachel and Chris have 1. So our next round is pick of the polls. Sean, Tina, Joe, pick a question.
The bored-looking lady.
OK, here's your related question. Most people secretly want to do another job, true or false?
I'd say 99.9% of people would like to change their job.
I would.
What do you think your true calling is? What's your true calling?
I'd love to be a tax inspector.
I've never...
I've been working on my knock. Listen to my knock.
I don't know what a tax inspector's not. I've never met one, so I don't know.
You ever see T-shirts? You know the jobs you see on T-shirts, like beer taster general. I'd like to be that, or boob inspector. Leader of the Pussy Patrol. Those jobs. Can you actually get those jobs?
I ain't giving that job up. You'll have to wrestle me for it. It took me years to get to be leader of the Pussy Patrol.
And if you've got a missing cat, you can contact me.
What about you, Joe? Bet you'd like a different job, wouldn't you?
Toss up between a dinner lady or a falconer. Either or.
Dinner lady?
Yeah. Yes, I would.
I think there's absolutely zero chance that Joe would ever pass the CRB check to make a dinner lady.
I'd quite like to be a sniper. I've bought the bits and pieces already, so...
In an official capacity, or like for the army, or do you think in a...
freelance.
Tina, what do you think you would do if you had a job?
Probably be a... I'd like to be a diving instructor. No, a politician, to be honest.
Politician?
Quite seriously, yeah.
That'd be a great job to have. What would you do, John, if you weren't doing this?
I'd quite like to be a milkman. A real buzz out of giving people milk. But in my experience, unless you've got the uniform, it's weird. You just knock on someone's door with some milk and go, there you go.
If I couldn't do this, I'd like to be a zookeeper. But I wouldn't touch any shit.
I've got a friend who's a zookeeper, and it is an amazing job.
I've got a friend that's got, he's got a dangerous wild animal rescue facility in Woking. It's a little house in Essex. There's an emu, and he gave me an emu egg, which looks like a dino egg. It's bright green, and I made an omelette out of it the other day.
Oh. Well, that's...
Oh,
sorry, is this a rescue centre for the animals?
Yeah.
If you're eating some of them...
No, it's an emu
We didn't
egg.
get the funding we were hoping for, so...
Well, Beaky hasn't got a boyfriend, so you're not eating it wouldn't be an emu because it's not fertilised. It's just an egg. It's
Go
just
very
like
nicely with the leopard bacon.
I'm sorry, let's get some answers on this. So, most people secretly want to do another job, true or false? You're going to go... True! True. John?
We think it's true.
OK, I can tell you the answer is true. 54% of people secretly want to do another job. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Most annoying thing couples do? Well, let's go to our specialist on this. John, what is the most annoying thing that loving couples do?
It's when they finish each other's...
sentences.
What pisses me off about my male friends is they... Because couples is great, isn't it, when you're in a relationship, but then men feel this obligation to pretend she won't let him come out, when really they just don't want to say to their mates, I'd rather watch a film and shag.
Yeah.
And listen to you moan on about your life. But they go, yeah, I'd love to calm down a boozer, but she won't fucking let up.
Yeah.
Just say it. Your relationship is better than your friendship with me. I'll take it. I won't give a shit.
The thing is, John, they're not even watching a DVD or having sex. They'd just rather not go out with you.
That's a lie. That's a lie. They are watching a DVD because I'm watching through their window. You can change your plans, but I'll still be there, whether you know it.
Is it when they get captured by Somalian pirates? That's annoying. Oh, God. How long is this going to drag on for?
And they're away for months and they want to whip round and... Oh.
You're a couple. You don't go round the Horn of Africa. What are you thinking?
What do you think, Joe?
They're quicker on pedlos.
What do you think, Tina? Most annoying thing couples do?
Lie to each other.
It's not annoying, is it? It's essential.
So you're newly married, right? You've been married less than a year.
Yep.
Do you ever get the sense you're annoying other people? When you go out to dinner in a restaurant, do you talk to each other?
Yeah.
That
When we
annoys
go
me.
out as a couple, though, he can't get a word in edgeways. He's quite quiet.
I'm like that with my husband. Oh. He can't get a word in. He's in the hotel at the moment, hungover.
He's in the hotel hungover?
Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday.
Right. And he drank through that, did he? Sure he did, sure.
So what really annoys me about couples is when they don't refuse to put an offer in on any of the villas in Place in the Sun. And Tom and Tina have decided not to make an offer on any of the properties we've seen. I just watched you look at 5 properties. What was wrong with that kitchen? You can paint it, you stupid bastard. No more of it. You're wasting everyone's time.
What do you think, Chris? What's the most annoying thing couples do?
Ask you to join in.
No, they do not do that.
Not let you join in.
Correct.
Is it argue in public?
That's the right thing.
Yes.
Yes, the most annoying thing that couples do is argue in front of other people. My dad had an amazing technique to avoid arguments in our house. He left when I was 2. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show. And I can tell you it's a draw. Everyone's a winner. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 Out of 10 Cats on Carr on Wednesday. That's it from us. Good night.
Keep dancing. It's Tess Daly. Grin and Barnett. It's Stephen Mangan. And their team captain, John Richardson. And facing them tonight, flying without wings, it's Kian Egan. Law and Disorder. It's Tony Law. And their team captain, John Locke. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
And welcome to 8 Out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, the average man in Glasgow owns 2 suits, one for court and the other for the next time they go to court? 83% of teenage girls keep a diary, which it turns out is very bad news for 70s DJs. And 1 in 8 men try to lose weight before going on holiday. I decided to cheat. I got myself one of those things that makes you look thinner on the beach. A fat girlfriend. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panelist's job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. John, Tess, Stephen, what do you think people have been talking about this week?
What about old Chris Huhne?
Oh, yes.
Go on, so explain the story, John. What's the full story?
Well, 10 years ago, Chris Huhne was doing 69 in a 50, and he had 9 points. He didn't want to lose his licence, so allegedly he bullied his wife into taking the points. Then he left his wife for a woman who genuinely used to do the PR for Top of the Pops. Now, she has had a career, hasn't she? PR for Top of the Pops, Chris Huhne, and I wouldn't be surprised if she turned out to be your accountant. She has had a bad... But the thing is, he basically said to his wife, take these points, and she took them at the time, and then she found out he'd been cheating on her, so she went to a newspaper and said, I've got this story, do you think I'll get into trouble?
Didn't she buy a wire off the internet, a recording device, and recorded him confessing in order to sell it to the paper?
She tried.
That's devious.
But the mistake he's made is that he hasn't married someone. You can only do that if you marry someone who looks like you. So Brian May and Anita Dobson, they do it all the time. He drives like a nutter, pissed, and then he says, it was Anita that was driving. Marry someone who looks like you. Terrible sex life, obviously.
Oh, I don't know.
My favourite thing about all of it is the texts from his son, which, when you read them, are just staggering. The one on Christmas Day is pretty much like, hope you have a great Christmas, love you, Dad. Well, I hate you, so fuck off.
There was another exchange which I think is even better. This is Chris Huhne saying to his son, Peter, I do hope your exams are going OK, despite everything over the last few weeks. Thinking of you, love you, Dad. P.S. It's Grandad's birthday today. And then his son texts back, don't text me, you fat piece of shit.
That mouthy son of his, he better hope he doesn't get put in prison, because he's going to come out all hardened, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Go, yeah, remember them fucking texts you sent me? Who's a fat bastard now, you fucking muppet? Wow.
Kian, would you take points for your partner? Your partner said
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, that seems like a very honest answer.
I mean, first of all, you know, I'm not divorced, and you know, my son doesn't think I'm a prick. So, them two things put together, you know, I would like to think that as a family we would stick together.
You like to think you'd get away with it?
I do that. I take points from my wife, yeah. She drives like a lunatic.
I bet his wife is spitting.
Now, the other thing about it, does he deserve to go to jail? Because basically his crime is he did 69 miles in a 50 zone and he's going to jail. He has played that very, very badly.
Yeah. He's a div, though, because, you know, I mean, a whole political career down the toilet for 3 points is one thing, but he's besmirched the good name of politicians. Very, very rarely are in the news for the wrong. Occasionally you'll get the Jeffrey Archer, I remember, you know, he was supposed to have shagged prostitutes and he lied in court. But apart from, well, Jonathan Aitken, he lied in court. But apart from those two, well, you had Neil Hamilton getting brown envelopes full of cash from Mohammed Al-Fayed. But well, you also had Jackie Smith and her husband putting porn movies on expenses. So, and the bloke who put his duck house on expenses. And John Major, when he did his Back to Basics thing, he was nobbing Edwina Curry. We had cash for questions, cash for honours, cash for influence, arms to Iraq. But apart from those scandals, politicians have had a very, very good name in this country.
Well, I can tell you that Chris Huhne is not in our top 3, but Chris Huhne's girlfriend is bisexual, just like he'll be by the time he comes out of prison. Sean, Tony, Kian.
Yes.
What do you think? What have the nation been talking about this week?
Gay marriage has been, it's been passed. It's made civil partnerships are now worthless. They're like Jessop's vouchers for telescopes.
More Tories voted against the bill than for it, 136 against, 127 for.
I don't know what they're worried about. They think there's going to be like leather confetti flying around. Oh, you can't have them getting married. There's bloody leather confetti.
A lot of the Tories who voted against it probably are, you know, deep back in the old closet anyway and like a bit of the old naughty. So they're like, well, fuck that. We're not going to let anyone else be happy while I'm stuck in this loveless sham of a marriage when really I want to be, you know.
You're not saying a lot of the key words in this, are you? A lot of the key bits of information in this sentence, you're going, you know
where we're at. We all know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I don't understand is they can't force view change. That vicars are still going to be against it, aren't they? So the actual ceremony is still going to be quite... When you get to the end, you'll have the vicar going, does anybody else know of any lawful impediment? Why, these two heathens should not be wet.
What does the Bible say?
The Catholic Church, I don't think, approve of gay marriage because the kind of people they're attracted to aren't old enough to get married. This is crazy.
But isn't this one of those things we're going to look back at in a few years? We're going to say, I can't believe there wasn't such a thing as gay marriage until 2013. You know what I mean? We're going to look back at it and say, what?
Yeah.
Can you believe there wasn't such a thing as gay marriage in church?
Eventually, people go, I can't believe men used to marry women. That's mental. What? That's nuts.
What's the world coming to?
They're not compatible, are they, men and women? It seems mental when you look back at it.
I'd marry a man. You marry a man, you take turns putting the bins out.
Let's have a look and see whether gay marriage is up there. Yes, MPs have passed a bill to make gay marriage legal, even if it's a way of life you yourself don't subscribe to. Even if you think it's weird or somehow against nature, you still have to respect people's right to be a Tory MP. John, Tess, Stephen, what else have people been talking about this week?
The horse burgers, it's gone mad. It's it's affected Burger King, and that's what seems to surprise people. But if your main burger is called a Whopper, that's a fair admission that even you don't know what's inside it. Yeah, you want a flame grilled Whopper, do you? Get that downside, I'm not going to tell you. Even their fish burgers have got seahorse in it.
don't understand the fuss. I really don't. We eat cows, pigs, chickens.
Yeah.
Everyone's known for years that sausages are basically lips and labia and toenails. What's wrong with a bit of horse?
Didn't the French company who made a lot of these meals, though, these packaged meals with the horse meat in it, they said they've like defended themselves by saying there's no taboo about eating horse in France. But the point, they missed the point because the fact is we didn't know there was horse meat in it, so we didn't have the choice.
It's better now it's a French company. Isn't it a company called, like, Gel Pack or something that sounds
Commie
rank?
Gel.
Yeah, that sounds rank anyway. But the first few companies were all called, like, O'Cuddleton's Orchard and things like that. It just sounded like one little farmer who's got, I've got a few things, and sometimes one dies a bit and I'll put it in a burger.
Apparently Finder's beef lasagnas were 100% horse.
Yes! 100%.
100%, so what, not even any pasta? That's terrible. Sure, you need some cheese for it to be a lasagna. It was layers of horse on top of horse, with sprinkled horse on top of that. So would you eat horse?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fussy eater.
That's a lovely way, but I'm not a fussy eater.
This Christmas, instead of a turkey, we had a horse. We had a horse, and on the table there, with all the trimmings.
All the trimmings.
Yeah. You took on quite a lot when you said, I'll have a leg. You know, it's lovely horse.
Massive giblets.
We had a we had a donkey inside it. We had a donkey inside it.
And inside the donkey, what?
Well, we had a koala.
A koala.
What I want to know is, what are the cows doing that were meant to be in the burgers? Where are they hiding? Have they sneaked off somewhere? They've like not gone into work.
There's a couple down here, actually.
And now they're all hiding, disguised somewhere. Are they like the French Resistance? Are they living in people's houses?
A very good thing will come out of all this, that people in general, whatever you eat, even if you eat like corn, you still don't know what's in it. People are far too trusting of packaging. We just buy something. Tesco packaging might as well just say on it, close your eyes, open your mouth, Tesco, go and give you You've no idea. Just eat this shit. It's brown, it's meaty.
What's the end of that phrase? Close your...
It's open your mouth, close your eyes. Tesco gonna give you a good surprise.
You really... Do you ever look and see where the horse meat is up there? Yes, the controversy over horse meat continues. Tesco pulled products off their shelves this week. That is a case of shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted into the mincer at the meat processing plant. Seanstein, what else of the nation are we talking about?
The Richard III's body has been found in a car park in Leicester.
Will they get the killer?
Yeah.
I like the fact his feet were missing, apparently, because in the 1600s they were extending the friary under which he was buried, and some builders digging down accidentally cut his feet off. So all that shows is the builders haven't changed in 400 years, have they? It's amazing what they can tell from the skeleton. They're very clever now. They know that his hands were tied like that. They know he got a massive whack on the back of his head, which take a chunk out of his skull out. And you could see his brain through the back of his head. And as he was being carried off, he got stabbed in the arse with a dagger. But if you do go out in Leicester on a Saturday night, what do you expect?
It's worth thinking about if you had to be buried in a car park, which one? I'm picking the Knaresborough Civic Council car park. I'm Bagsy in that.
Good choice.
It's an amazing car park. It's cheap. It overlooks the viaduct. It's by the ruins of the castle. You've got a bowling green, and it's right by the police station, so you're safe.
Do you reckon he had a Brummie accent?
Well, they think he might because of the way he spelt certain words.
But how can they figure that one out? Like, he had a Brummie accent.
They can't.
No, exactly.
They're full of shit.
Exactly.
Tony, do you think you would make a good medieval king?
Me? Oh, I've already done it. Yeah, it was all right. I was a better Dark Age king, to be honest. More of an axe-type battler. Swords are a bit dandy. I was more... Oh.
You were rubbish as a pharaoh, though, weren't you? You didn't do very well.
Oh, not a good pharaoh. No. Not a good pharaoh at all. Too hot for me, and I'm a bit pale.
This is the last king to die in battle, that's when royals really deserved or earned their place, their crown. Prince Charles the most dangerous thing he's done is pinch Camilla's arse.
That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, because she could either hit you or sleep with you.
You don't want either of that.
If it kicks off, she could end up in a Tesco's value burger. Let's have a look and see if Richard III is up there in our topical news quiz. Most talked about day. Yes, archaeologists have uncovered the bones of Richard III in a Leicester car park. The remains of Richard III have been sitting in the car park since 1485. The good news is the first 2 hours were free. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points to Sean's team and 1 point to John's team. Our next round is pick of the poll. Sean, Tony and Kian, what do you like the look of?
I like the look of that young man there.
You have chosen Kian Egan. I just always when I say your name, I feel like I'm saying Kevin Keegan, but I've had a stroke. Here's your question. Most people would rather be in a band than a solo singer, true or false?
I'd like to be in Little Mix. I'd like to be like the one and go, what's he doing in Little Mix? No, but they just get a new member, then Little Mix have announced they've got a new member, and it's me. What would you...
I reckon most people prefer to be in a band.
Because you got friends around you.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the whole idea of being in a band, you know. It's a bit cooler than I'm a singer on my own.
A bit cooler? You know you were in Westlife, right?
Yes, I know I was in Westlife.
Can you name all the other members?
Did you know each other growing up, all of you guys?
Yeah, we did, yeah. We went to school together.
That's proper band then, right? That's
Did you? I didn't realise you went to school together. I thought you were...
No, we went to school together.
So you knew each other since what age?
Well, me, Shane and Mark we were in the same class as each other and we started the band up and then Brian and Nicky joined about a year later.
At what point did Louis swoop?
Very early.
So are you a solo artist now?
No, I'm not a solo artist. I was a member of a boy band for 15 years.
And your voice is just broke.
It's just breaking. It's only happened in 10 years.
I had to leave. They threw you out. Okay. What about you, Stephen? Would you rather be in a band? What would you think?
I was in a band at school, yeah.
You were in a band at school. What were they called?
They were called Aragon.
Oh, they're already my favourite band.
We went through a lot of names. We were Zenith for a while. But then we realised there was a double glazing firm called Zenith. We recorded an album, The Wizard's Dream.
The Wizard's Dream? Why not The Wizard's Sleeve?
Is this true? Is this absolutely
it's all true.
But why do you think you didn't make it?
Because we were ahead of our time, Sean.
Right.
And behind our time. There was no time that we would have fitted in at all.
John, any musical aspirations? Would you ever...
The only band I would like to be in is the Proclaimers.
Why the Proclaimers? Why would you want to be...
Why would you not want to be in the Proclaimers? There's a song that just ends with 5 minutes of them both screaming the word Jean. Jean! That's it. And they're in a band and they do that, and they're so cool. But they hate the English so much. It's a real barrier. I'd have to pretend from the beginning to be a brother that they didn't know about. Hello!
Tess, have you ever been...
I haven't been in a band, but I've been in quite a few bands' videos.
Which videos were you in?
I did 2 Duran Duran videos, and then I was in 2 Soul to Soul videos, a Beloved video, the
Soul
one
to
where
Soul,
everyone was
Beloved
naked,
Duran Duran.
bar a few little, plasters and...
You were in that one?
I was in that one,
What
honey.
one's that?
Plasters?
But, elastoplast and the right,
What a sexy look that is.
Nothing.
I'm
Well, just
naked
so
and I
that
might
you
have cut my nipples.
preserve your mind.
I'm in an Elton John video. It keeps it at home.
Sure. Why not?
I've only got one song on my iPod, which is Rock Around the Clock. And I have it on shuffle. So 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, that finishes. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Just for hours on end
Happy
driving.
days.
Drives my wife
It
mental.
answers a lot of questions, though.
That's why she drives like that.
1, 2, 3 o'clock. Over that again.
OK, let's get some on. So most people would rather be in a band than a solo singer. What are you going to go for, Sean?
Band.
Band?
You think band? What do you guys think?
I think solo singer.
Solo.
Solo singer, OK. I can tell you the answer is 72% of people would rather be in a band than a solo singer. You're right. and the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Top advice you'd give your younger self?
I know what I'd say. I'd say, it doesn't matter how curious you are, don't stick your cock in that barrel.
Top advice, what would you tell yourself?
It's difficult for me because I am my younger self. It's just more a question for you old bastards, really, isn't it? I wish I'd walked my dog more. That's a serious one. Just telling you, if you're a dog owner and it's raining, one day that dog will be dead, and you'll think, I should have taken him down the canal.
Did you never walk your dog?
Not a lot, really. I was out banging. Well, more to the point, I was indoors watching videos. But
Steve, how old were you when you joined Westlife?
I was 16 when it started.
So what advice would you give your younger self? What do you think?
There was one incident where me and one of the other guys in the band, I won't mention any names, pissed in George Michael's back garden and got caught, which wasn't a good incident.
You got caught by George Michael with your cock out? That is a disaster. Stephen, what do you think?
I would say to myself, denim jacket with Saxon written in biro on the back with pixie boots is not a good look.
Yet.
What I would say if I met my younger self is, less of that, a bit more of that. Right?
Yeah.
Less of that, stop that, do that.
Stop being such a dick.
No.
That's what I'd say to me.
All right.
Yeah. The younger me, not the cool me now.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean the younger dickheadish me.
Yeah, where's he gone?
Yeah.
Where's he hiding?
Depends how young you're talking now, doesn't it? If you're going really young, stop crying and shit in your pants. And then right through to, I know you think she's gone out, but she's going to come back early, so stop the video and take it out. About 5 minutes before you thought you were going to. Sorry, Mum.
Tess, what do you think? What advice would you give your younger self?
Never cut your own hair.
Were you cutting your own hair?
Yes. Nail scissors out the bathroom cabinet, have a little trim, a little bit more, and then before you know it, it's not good. It's not
Look
good.
at mine, I'm the before.
Stay away from the scissors, stay away.
This isn't a hairstyle, this is weather.
I would say, don't shave the little bit of hair on the small of your back before you go on the rugby tour, because no one's going to see it anyway, and it'll just keep growing back stronger and stronger for the rest of your life. And now it looks like you've got a little bunny's tail.
The other one, talking of shaving, is be very careful when you're shaving your balls, because you will nick yourself.
Finally.
Oh, dude.
Finally, some advice we can use.
You've got to use Nair. You got to use Nair. You can't be getting a blade near those. Nair.
That's like the no-no thing.
Nair, hair removal cream. If you're going after the balls, you don't bring the razor anywhere near the neighborhood. Shit.
Okay, next question,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Found that? Okay. Top advice you'd give your younger self?
My dad said to me, never take any advice from anyone. Very wise.
It's getting in your head there.
And also, I'd say, hey, don't get so upset about that rejection letter from Jim. Will fix it. It's actually a good thing.
Okay, to do with being insecure. There's your clue.
Be more confident.
That is exactly the right answer. Yeah. Yes, the top advice you'd give your younger self is to be more confident. If I went back in time, I'd say to my younger self, you need to be more confident. And my younger self would say, what the fuck have you done to my teeth? Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Tony and Kian have 3 points, John, Tess and Stephen have 2 points. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to our 10 Cats Uncut on Wednesday. That's it from us. Good night.